haijawa kufika hapa, mkono wa Mungu umenibeba. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Once again, I'm Susan Salim, and I'm back again. Thank you for those who have been following me, and they really you want to know what next. I really thank God so much for you. Continue subscribing. If you have never subscribed, also share. And I know somebody is going to be encouraged somewhere. And I know some of you are waiting to hear how I got married. Because I had seen the relationship between my mother and my father, I really wanted to get married to somebody who knows where I come from and my background. I didn't want to get problems after I get married, and I knew in time after marriage, my husband will know where I come from and all the family issues I had gone through. So one thing I told God that I want to get married by somebody who knows where I come from, my background, and the issues I went through. And I thank God I got somebody who knew where I came from and all the issues I had with my father. And also another thing I told God is that I want also to get married by somebody also who in their family they have also issues. So that when we pray, when we discuss, when we differ, nobody is going to say or to boast that he comes from a perfect family. I want to tell you something. No family all over the world under the sun is ideal. All families have flaws. And I really thank God because of the way God directed me, and that is how I got married. I got somebody who and also flaws like mine, though they were not so much like mine, but also he had issues, and God helped us. We got married. I want to talk also about how I forgave my father. It took a lot of time because even when I got married, things were not better, things were not good. I could go home and with my husband, and my father used to tell my husband issues. You know, he wanted to cover up what happened. But thank God my husband knew my father very well, and so he could just smile and listen. And it took me time for me to forgive my father, because all the time we were going home, he was really talking words to my husband, which were very much irritative and adding pain to me. And I thank God there is 2002 I came across a theology. My first diploma I went through, I was told by a pastor by name Dr. Lee Songlo Hall. Dr. Lee, God bless you wherever you are. And he told me about forgiveness. It wasn't easy. I want to tell you, to forgive is not easy. People talk about forgiveness, but not many people pass that exam. Talking about it, it's very easy. But now, forgiving, it is not easy. Thus they say you can forgive and forget. Let me tell you, from my experience, forgetting is only God who can forgive and forget. But human beings, you forgive, but forgetting you can't forget. Why am I saying this? When you forget, you won't tell somebody about that story, what happened. So saying that you can forgive and forget, I don't think whether it is workable. Because when you forget, how will you tell that story? And already you have forgotten. It's only God who can forgive and forget. So Pastor Lee struggled with me, in Bible school on how to forgive, and he told me so much, and we discussed. We could agree to disagree, but later I asked him, how can you forgive somebody who has wronged to you? And he helped me through the scriptures, and I started now praying God on how I can forgive my father, praying, and it took years. It wasn't easy. It took years, and 2009, between 2009 to 10, I also came about a theology from CTM under the leadership of Gideon Ochieng, who is the director of Kenya. And there is where we learned about flawed families, people in the Bible who came from dysfunctional families, people who are neglected in the society. We came across people like Tamar, who slept with his father-in-law Judah. We learned a lot of things concerning flawed families and issues in the family, and how to heal a wound, how to open a wound, how to open stories, how you can get healed. It's shameful, but that is the way on how you can get healed. So slowly by slowly, I started getting healed myself, and I shared my story with the students. We were together with them, and I started sharing it to people in the church, wherever I could be invited to go and minister. I could talk about forgiveness, and as I talked about that story of how I went through with the child abuse with my father, I started getting healed and healed. And through that, I came to realize that all families have issues. But if we can start to open up, we are going to get healed. And by and by, I started praying and asking the Lord to forgive my father. And I also came to realize that it was not my father's fault. This was a wound which was hidden, maybe from the bloodline. And I started praying for my father, and with time, my relationship with my father started to be closer. So wherever I could go home to greet my parents. Now, this time round, it was not like the other years, because already I had started praying for him and asking God to help him, to deliver him. And I also came to understand that it was not his problem. This was a problem from his bloodline. And I also came to understand that all families have issues. And it's only when we come up and they start sharing these issues, these family issues, the life we went through, is when our families are going to be healed, and even us ourselves are going to be healed, and even that victimizer also is going to be healed. And through that, as I continue to pray about it, I continue to share about it without being ashamed. I remember one time I went home, and my father asked me to pray for him so that he may come back to Christ. And I really started thanking God to see how now God can heal somebody. He never told me, Susan, forgive me for what happened between me and for what happened between me and you, but he told me that he wants to come back to God, and I'm the one to pray for him. And I really thanked God so much. I prayed for him, and now the relationship between me and him started to recover. it started to improve. It wasn't too much, but it started to improve slowly by slowly. I could go home. Before then, when I used to go home, I could go home and they could not give me anything. I could leave maize there, beans, everything are there, hens are there, but I can't carry anything. But this time around, after praying for my father, after the relationship started now to improve, now we could go home with my husband and we could carry maize and beans. And they could also welcome us with food, and that is how I came now to realize that surely God, after you share out the stories, after you open the wound, it will heal. So you are there and you are feeling ashamed not to share your story. Let's come up and share our stories. And I know God is going to help us, not only us alone, but also the people who have victimized us. They are going to be healed. And I really thank God because of my father. He went to be with the Lord when he had come back to Christ. So what I can advise young people who are looking for a partner to get married by somebody, it's good. Nowadays we are calling it dating. Wherever you go and date, talk about issues. Talk about where you come from and where the other partner comes from, the family issues, so that even when you come together and get married, already you will know where one comes from with their issues and all that. So, and God is going to help you, because no family is ideal. We all come from flawed families. Otherwise, God bless you so much. See you next time.